Hi and welcome. I'm just waiting for my special guest to jump on today and looking forward to having all of you participate in today's Instagram Live. Hello, Cindy. Hold on. We're going to get you on right now. Just Hello, Cindy. Hi, how are
Hello.
you?
Good. What is that?
Okay, no worries.
Seems like there was a glare, so I
Ah,
take care of that.
there you go. So, hi everyone. I'm Caryn Saitz. I'm your host of Taking the Leap, and I'm really excited to have my special guest, Cindy. How do you say your last name?
Barberes.
Barberes here with me today, and she is the founder of H Honey Cup. And in thinking about it, I always start out with how we met, and we actually met at the Conscious Beauty Collective, which is a new pop-up started by Lynn Power, and it's in the Natick Mall, which is in the suburbs of Boston, and it's this beautiful, really fabulous store that will be there through the end of December 31 in the mall, and it really brings together 32 amazing founders, of which I think 95% are women, and together to really share their conscious beauty products, which is amazing. And so Cindy and I met there, and we're gonna tell you a little bit about what she does and what inspired her and what does the future look like. So welcome to today's Taking the Leap.
Awesome. Happy
So
to be.
can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to, well, first of all, what your business is, and then what inspired you to create it? Was this your dream?
Well, I was in corporate for quite a long time, and I knew when I left that, financial services, I really wanted to do something that I could be passionate about and sink my teeth into and create something that was real and tangible that would make people feel good. So that sort of was like the backstory of,
Mm-hmm.
thinking. And then as far as clean beauty, well, our company is H Honey Cup, and I referred to it as body care with a cause because we had a family member who struggled with addiction. And so we were doing clean beauty, and it just made perfect sense that we donate our products to recovery centers because they're really trying to live a clean lifestyle. So it was
Mm-hmm.
important to me when I started my own company that I would be able to give back to the community.
So you started it with a purpose, um, right out of the gate. So tell us a little bit about the products that you create. I don't know if you have any there, but
Mhm.
tell us a little bit what they are and how you came up with them and how you chose the product line, and also how you chose the name H Honey Cup.
Yes, the name. Well, it's not easy. You really want something that means something to you. And of course, a lot of the fun names, sometimes are taken. But I finally settled on Honeycup because I love honeysuckles and buttercups. So I combined the two. And so
Uh-huh.
I came up with Honeycup. And then with the H, I just thought that was really fun, that alliteration. And so that's kind of how I came up with the name. And then my formulator is my husband because he's always done that. So
Wow.
that's a big plus because that's something that's hard. He's also a manufacturer, so I had the business background. He had, he knew the regulations, and it was just like kind of a way for me to enter the industry and learn faster. So I wanted to do body care instead of face.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I think, when you take care of your body, that form of self-care, it's written all over your face. And so that's kind of what I started with. And so, of course, we always have our products close by.
Uh-huh.
So our bestseller was like our first product, and it's a body scrub, orange sunflower. And the nice thing about our labels is that on every single label, we have our take care message, and it talks about how with every purchase, the customer is supporting someone who has struggled with addiction. So it's all very integrated. So our bestseller with the body scrub, you know, you just use it in the shower because it's orange, you know, and sugar, it just melts off and it
Mm-hmm.
leaves skin so smooth and soft. So people, this is our bestseller, and people come back and they buy two at a time. They say, I can't take a shower without it. So that's kind of fun.
Uh-huh.
That's one of four products actually that we have that are Made Safe certified. And so that's a recent third-party certification that
And
we
what
received.
does that mean and how do you get it?
Well, it took a year and a half. And so
Wow.
Made Safe is a really high quality organization. And what they do is they do screening of all of your ingredients, all of your suppliers, everything that you do with your product, so that they're verifying that your ingredients are safe for humans, animals, aquatic life, and the environment overall. And so it's a very
Uh-huh.
rigorous screening. They require all kinds of documentation. And it really was a great exercise because we really had to look at our suppliers very closely. Some of them did not
Mm-hmm.
have the documentation we wanted or needed, and so we moved on. So we replaced some suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
we replaced some ingredients, and then in the end, we felt like we really were offering products to the consumer that were, you know, more higher quality and really trustworthy. So our second product of the four, this is a mini size, but it's a Pomerosa Body Oil.
Uh-huh.
So luscious. And so this, it can also, this goes on right after the shower. Oh my gosh, you stay so moist and
Mm-hmm.
it's like a spa. And so those two products, as well as the next two, are waterless. And so that really enables you to have a safer formula
Interesting.
because there's no water. If there's no water, there's preservatives. And sometimes the preservative system, the ingredients are not as clean. So it's more of a challenge. So
So the certification is for clean beauty, right? And do you see a difference between sort of clean beauty and conscious beauty? I mean, or do they come together as one as you're looking at the supply chain? Because I'm hearing you say it's really up and down your entire supply chain that has to meet this kind of rigorous, research and certification.
I mean, that's very true. I think that clean beauty is the beginning of conscious beauty, because I think conscious beauty adds in the elements of you're giving back to the community, you are helping to educate people about making good choices, you know, because you're getting educated throughout this process.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you share all that information so that they can make good choices. Um, and transparency, you know, that's important also in clean and conscious beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is like a movement, I would say, conscious beauty.
Uh-huh. And
Mhm.
how long ago did you start Honeycup, H Honeycup?
About 5 years now. So, you know, we're well into it, and we started with one product, and, you know, every year we added more, and now we have about 10. And one of them that's a lot of fun is our lotion stick. And
Uh-huh.
what's nice about that is that it's the same as a regular lotion, except for it's in stick form, solid form. So that makes it spill proof. So, you know, just you take off the cap, and then wherever you need it, you know, you just apply it. And
And is it kind of like a roll-on or kind of a waxy kind of substance?
it's, I would say it's more of a waxy substance, but it immediately melts into your skin. But yeah, that's been very popular. Just throw it in your gym bag, throw it in your purse.
Uh-huh.
And I would say that product and all the ones that we're talking about here are unisex too, because a lot of our scents, even though they're essential oils, we don't use any chemicals to create our scents. Some of them are citrus, and men favor citrus
Mm-hmm.
because it goes on, it's very refreshing, whether it's orange or lime or whatever, and then it dissipates quickly because men don't like to be perfumey all
For a long
day.
time.
No,
Most don't.
but occasionally some do.
Uh-huh.
And our last one is a CBD body oil. We do have a whole line of CBD. We have lotion, we have bath salts, and we have the oil. And really, CBD, if you would choose a CBD product, then you probably you might have some aches and pains after you go to the gym, or, just sore joints, and then
Hmm.
you apply it, rub it in wherever you need it.
So CBD seems to sort of be the kind of modern panacea for, anything that ails. Are you finding that by just adding it into these products that it's really been more helpful, or takes it up a notch in terms of how people look at it?
It depends on what people are looking for. So I think, yes, if somebody would like to have like a natural pain reliever, the things that I do are CBD topicals, then they would take that instead of an aspirin. And so with this natural focus on natural now
Hmm.
in the community and with customers, that's very appealing. Like, oh, okay, I can get some pain relief here in a natural way.
Right, and not harm myself at the same time.
Exactly, not harm myself. But it's not.
So interesting. Are there, I know that there aren't that many regulations around clean beauty in the US, and much more so in Europe. Do you see that changing in the US, or do you see it just sort of almost like a free for all in terms of determining, what's clean, what isn't?
It has been a free for all. You're right, Karen, and it's really unfortunate because it makes it very challenging for the consumer to know or trust, a brand. They don't know how to read labels. They
Right.
don't know what to believe, and so I think that we don't know what's going to happen in the U.S. So far, we've been very slow to catch up with the global regulations. So that's why I sort of feel like a made safe certification, a third party validation is helpful, because
Hmm.
made safe, when you look at them, they don't just certify beauty. They do pet care, they do home products like mattresses, they do candles. So they do
Hmm.
everything. So when you see their seal, then you sort of know, that the homework has been done. So
Right. It's kind of like the Good
yeah,
Housekeeping seal of approval, or the Better Business
sure.
Bureau, what it used to
Yeah.
be, or, when you'd see, oh, that's like approved, and you kind of, it would be great if there was something that, said, you know what, this really genuinely is clean. I was just reading an article on shampoos, and the number of, the list was huge, that you have no idea that they're recalling for one thing or another. And I'm like, oh my God, I have that in my shower. And, oh, and like, you don't know, it's kind of all on the shelves, and you're just sort of, oh, I'll take this, whatever. So it's been a really eye-opening experience in meeting all of you. I had the opportunity to meet you in person and speak with you about the products. And since then, I'm really taking a major discerning look at what is sitting in my, bathroom and on my product shelves. And I'm like, wow, because there are so many that just have ingredients that we would never think are bad, or even bother, to your point, to even look and see if they're included, in the product itself. So it's been a great experience. And I think it kind of goes hand in hand with my next question, is what problem are you solving, and what is the real impact that you want to make on the world? Because I read where, self-care is something that you've been studying and
Mhm.
learning about. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, that was really part of my transition, from corporate into having my own company.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real transformation. And to me, it really had its basis in self-care. There was so much intensity with what I used to do. I just didn't take the time to really to care for myself. And we all know the issues that come with too much stress, or not
Right.
enough sleep, or any of that. And so to help educate people between using, the cleaner ingredients, and being transparent, it's also to take some time, to focus on yourself, because then you're better at work, you're better with your family, you're just better all around. So
Right. So you
uh,
hope that your products
mhm,
inspire that self-care, and that you take the time to have that great bath, and use those products on yourself.
yeah, just think about what you're doing, uh,
Hmm.
how you're doing it, and it just just take a couple of deep breaths, and it just has a huge impact. Yes.
So even though you had a business background, and
Mhm.
and amazingly your husband, was also in that industry that you were looking to go into, what have been the challenges as a woman entrepreneur? You decided to take this leap. It's a big switch. It's a big transformation. I think you have children, if I'm correct. And that's a major, that's taking the leap and that's jumping off. What have been the biggest challenges that you've faced in making this transformation?
Well, I mean, there are a ton of challenges. The first thing you have to realize is that you have to do everything in the beginning. What I say is that eventually you are in a position where you can decide what you really are not good at and be able to outsource that. But in the beginning, you've got to do it all. You've got to do the product development. You need to do the packaging. You need to do that. You need to establish the tone and everything for your brand. So I think that was first, that I had to realize that, I had to learn this new industry and I really was
Mm-hmm.
responsible for everything. Then I would say something else that I learned is that there are no shortcuts. I mean, yes, I had a formulator and a manufacturer,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought, oh, I'll hire a PR firm. I had one or two products and I'll fast track this whole thing. And, it was too soon. So I really needed to live and breathe my brand, know about what was happening and have the brand evolve and, um, get some packaging that really articulated our mission.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that was an expensive lesson to learn, that there are no shortcuts.
Got it. And so now, what is your distribution of the product? Like, where can people find, I mean, besides the Conscious Beauty Collective, which is
Mm-hmm.
here in Boston in the area, and
Yeah.
definitely I recommend you get to go in, you try it and smell it and taste it and you name it. But where else? I mean, what does your distribution look like at this point?
Well, other than direct to consumer and the Conscious Beauty Collective, we do work with some other like wholesale companies like the W Marketplace, which is for women, all for women, and there is actually a section on there for beauty. We also work with Michelle, which is also clean beauty online e-commerce. We have a number of boutiques, and then we also work with some beauty boxes we have coming up in the fall. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and finally, we are just now talking to some larger retailers. So cross your fingers on that.
Got it. I think that concept, I mean, when I was at the Conscious Beauty Collective, I mean, for me, it was bringing these clean beauty products to the masses. I mean,
Mhm.
you're smack across from Nordstrom's, you're in the mall, average consumers are walking by who may not shop at, let's say, Whole Foods or some other very small store. But at the end of the day, having all of these brands come together, I think that that's been an amazing way to get the message out there that there are not only, companies that are doing well, but doing good, and that you can have these great products and they can still be good for the environment and good for the world and also give back and have a purpose. And
Mhm.
people think, oh, nah, that doesn't exist, or where, maybe it's good, but I don't know if it smells good or if it feels good, or it's kind of
Mhm.
like they question, and there's no reason that they can't go hand in hand. I mean,
Exactly. I agree with you. I mean, the Conscious Beauty Collective has really been a platform that has been amazing to get the word out because, as you know, one brand at a time, it's really hard to get
right.
heard. But then when you collaborate with all these like-minded founders, mostly female founders,
Mm-hmm.
we all support each other. We all, add to the messaging. We all are basically very similar in our philosophies, and so everything's already vetted. So it's again
Mm-hmm.
that what you
And do
said.
you share like resources and things? Like, have you sort of come together and realized, oh, you know what?
Mhm.
I could use their resource, because it's not, I mean, you're competitive, but you're not competitive. Each
Mhm.
product is,
Yeah.
individual. There, yes, but there's a million other lotions, so
Mhm.
you're not really competing, with one
Mhm.
another in that sense. Each one has its own special,
Mhm.
products and reason and smell and purpose, and, and it solves a specific problem.
I mean, the way that we look at it is if one of us is succeeding, then we all succeed. So, that it's definitely a no-brainer there. And yes, we have started to share resources as far as packaging, because a couple of us have gotten together and talked to one particular, I think, manufacturer, not mine, but just to say, oh, well, I can bring you all this business. What can you do for us? And so it really becomes powerful to
Right,
be,
because you now have some buying power if you're
yeah,
all, approaching someone with your joint products.
yeah.
So my last question is always, what do you wish that someone would have shared with you before you started this journey, that would have made it easier, or that would have said, am I really going to do this? Like,
Mhm.
can I do this? I mean,
Yeah.
what didn't you know that you know today that you wish, that would have really made it easier for you?
Well, aside from the fact that there are no shortcuts,
Right.
I think also that I can do much more. And I would say that to anyone starting their own business, you can do so much more than you imagine. Forget that imposter syndrome and, just put all of your reservations aside and just dig right in. Forget the naysayers, just keep going, because you will be amazed that you can learn how to do all the social media and the product development and the pricing. You can learn all that. And so it really is more about staying in the game, keep going, get
Mhm.
momentum, join forces with your peers.
So
That's
did
what.
you have support? I mean, were you part of an organization or anything that helped you along the way?
Not initially, no. I mean, I was on my own. I mean, I did all of I had a coach, and I have a consultant right now, and I do a lot of networking, but no organization except for, the
Mhm.
formulator and manufacturer that I
So
knew.
you had to really look inside yourself and boost that confidence and that
Right.
energy to
Hmm.
really keep going.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
what does the future look like? What do you hope, for the next year or two,
Hmm.
that you can do? Is it, keeping the product line as is? Is it growing it? Is it expanding the distribution, or all of the above, A, B, and C?
Well, I think it's definitely new products. We do have a new insect repellent that's natural, and we also have a lip scrub. And then, as I said, we really are hoping that we can move forward with some of these clean beauty retailers. That would be really my dream, and what we've been working towards. So that
And you
would,
have the manufacturing capability to
yes,
support all of that.
yes. So that helps. It
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
yeah.
So to find you, people can find you at the Conscious Beauty Collective.
Hmm.
They can find you online. Is that correct? And
They
they can buy directly from you.
can buy directly hhoneycup.com.
Hmm. And then in some other boutiques around the country, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes, I will start
thank you.
the website. Thank you.
Oh, it's been great chatting with you. It's
Yeah.
great to learn more about your products and to have other people hear your story and learn from you. And I actually have your CBD oil. It's downstairs in my bathroom, front
Well,
and forward. So I definitely have been trying it, and it's great. I think one of the perks of getting to meet all of you was getting to. I love testing products. I love trying products. I love so having the opportunity to touch,
yes,
feel, smell in person is always great before you buy. So I love that, and I encourage other people to head over there if they're local in the Boston area. And were you in the San Francisco version, or this is your first time as part of the collective?
I was in San Francisco toward the end for the last month, and then segued here, and I hope to continue, wherever we go
If they
next year.
move around the country,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
So that's an exciting prospect, and I hope that they do have the opportunity to move to other cities around the country so people get a chance to
Yeah.
really understand what conscious and clean beauty means,
Hmm.
and they get to try the products and incorporate them into their own routines. So
Okay.
thanks again. It's great meeting you, Cindy. I'm
Hmm.
excited,
Thank
and
you.
I look forward to seeing you again in person.
All right, take care. Bye.
Thanks, you too. Have a great one.